welcome Mr. Ashish Tanwar, Head of University Hiring India and APJ 𝐔𝐧𝐢𝐬𝐡. Sir is a multi-talented HR professional with over 15 years of experience in various aspects of human resource management. With his strong expertise in orientation, grievance handling, employee management, retention, and high potential development, he has been truly instrumental in driving the talent acquisition strategies of the company. So, Sir will be guiding us on the topic of cultivating talent with AI, redefining education in an AI-enabled world. Thank you so much, Sir.
Thank you.
Let's all welcome with a huge round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I didn't know whether to laugh or not when every speaker, kept saying my points have already been covered and I'm not left with anything. And I was like, wait till you see who's going last. But I must say, it has been organized really, really well. So, 𝐸dUskills team and all the volunteers especially, thank you so much for putting up a wonderful show. I've personally learned a lot through the entire day. What I will try to do is ensure that there's a few of us now compared to when we started the day, and I'm told that there were more people yesterday and the day before. But we'll try and see what we've not covered today. I'll breeze through what we have covered in the interest of time. But what I will try to ensure is that you take away something from this session, and that something is slightly newer than what has already been covered. So, I'm going to talk about cultivating talent with AI, not something that has not been spoken about, that has not been discussed, whether it is the corridors of policymakers, industry leaders, students, academicians like yourselves, a very, very common topic. But we'll start with context. And I'm very happy that a lot of speakers who came before me, of course they covered some bit of what I will also be covering, but they mentioned some very, very crucial points that need to be understood. Okay? But let's play a game, right? I know I've been sitting for a while and I would love to play a game. So let's see how many of us know what this logo is. Blockbuster, that's written. What did the company do? Absolutely. It was the world leader in DVD rentals. Right? How many of us know what this is? Just one alphabet is all it takes for everyone in the room to know what this organization does. Now, Netflix is one of the global leaders in online streaming, and Blockbuster went bankrupt some 11 years ago. Right? From a world leader to a bankrupt. Simple reason. They didn't preempt the future. They thought because we are doing the best that we can do, we'll never be challenged. And there will never be anything better than what we are offering. And then came Netflix and of course a lot of other streaming platforms. And we know what happened. Another one, and this is typically people my age and above who would have used this. Anyone like me? BlackBerry, awesome. It used to be an amazing phone in its time. Every enterprise used to pick up BlackBerries and give BlackBerry phones to all their employees, right? They were the most amazing at communication. But what they failed to realize that it's not going to remain the same forever. What is this? Apple. This time it didn't even take us an alphabet. Right? A semi-eaten fruit, and we know what we're talking about. And everyone in this room knows that we are not talking about the fruit apple. That's what Apple did. What did they do? They changed the game from only communication to everything else. Right? They were made fun of, they were doubted, and today they stand as one of the most valuable organizations in the world. My name is Ashish. I manage university hiring for 𝐔𝐬𝐬𝐡 across India, Asia Pacific, and Japan. Prior to coming to 𝐔𝐬𝐬𝐡, I've headed campus hiring for Google, Microsoft, and Dell Technologies. Pretty much most of my 18 years are in and around recruiting. Outside of my work, I sit on the board of governors of IIIT Bhubaneswar. I've also worked with a lot of governments on skilling, and I advise a lot of startups and all things talent. That's what I do at work and outside of work. Let's talk about our role, and some of it is covered, but I certainly want to double click on some of the very, very crucial points. Okay? It's very easy for industry people to come and say, oh, why don't you transform your curriculum, and why don't you, look at partnering with the industry. Of course it is important, but what is more important is to understand that AI is not relevant only for people pursuing computer science engineering. Whether it is agriculture, business, law, you name the field, AI literacy needs to be integrated in every course that is running in every university. That's going to be the future. Today, even lawyers refer to a lot of AI help. They take a lot of AI help to find reference cases which would otherwise take them months to do. Now they're able to do that in minutes. So that's the important part here. Of course, there are other aspects. Another one that I would love to talk about is the hybrid way of teaching. For teachers, it's almost impossible to curate personalized learning styles and learning journeys for their students. But with the help of AI, that is possible. Right? So you know exactly who needs what, and then you can curate that journey. Fostering a culture of research and innovation, of course, I know the journey is on. A lot of you are already doing it. Setting up AI infrastructure, setting up COEs for AI, etc. Running a lot of student-led projects is already happening. But more importantly, building a strong industry-university partnership. Now, here is where sometimes we tend to go wrong. I keep hearing a lot of, and I keep getting a lot of requests. Okay, can we have an expert session? Can we have a workshop? Trust me, a 2-hour guest lecture by anyone in the industry, no matter who you are inviting, does not change anything for a student. Right? When I was a student, I used to attend only those sessions where I know I have to step out and meet this person because I want to meet the person. But none of the speakers ever changed anything for me in those 1 or 2 hours. So it's important for us to, So it's important for us to look at how we are actually utilizing industry experts to land a solid impact on the students. And that's where inviting adjunct faculty is of importance. Don't pick up a 2-hour lecture where there's no takeaway. When you invite someone to be an adjunct faculty, they actually pick up the entire course, deliver. So when you track the progress of a student through that versus through a 1 or 2 hour of workshop or a guest lecture, there's a very, very huge difference. And last but not the least, it's been covered. I think the first session of the day, Dr. Raghav Dash spoke about responsible AI. That is much, much more than having AI literacy. I'll borrow a line from one of the movies that I saw, where a lawyer says, there's a person standing outside your house with a gun. Who do you want that person to be? A cop or a terrorist? Think of AI as the same. It can be used to do good and it can be used to do bad. If we do not have ethical frameworks established and literacy about responsible AI, our future is not going to look very bright, even with a lot of training on AI. Now, education is not the sole responsibility of universities or the teachers. Industry has to be equally responsible, and industry needs to partner. Now, what can industry do? There is some of it that is already being done. Some of it is a tick in the checkbox, while other is usually what am I getting out of it, whether it is hiring and other related things. And the efforts are commensurate only to what we do. But here's where we are changing the world, we are changing the kind of talent that we are curating for the future. Organizations have to understand that they need to become producers of talent rather than consumers of talent. Let me repeat that. Industry needs to become producer of talent rather than consumer of talent. Right? Historically, it's been you train the students, I interview them, and then say, no, I didn't find the students well. It's not going to work that way, especially when we are looking at a paradigm shift with AI. Right? So organizations need to provide real-world context so that the education standards of students can be improved. Internships will always be limited in any organization, let's face it. But there are amazing things that 𝐀𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐬𝐡 team, and thank you so much for the lovely initiatives, virtual internships. I love the concept. Right? Every student cannot be accommodated by all the organizations put together. There is no bandwidth. That's a harsh reality. But virtual internships have been adding a lot of value to the students who pursue that. So that's a very, very important part. And of course, prioritizing skill versus other factors and ensuring that there are internal hackathons and a continued journey even after someone has hired an entry-level talent. So these are the things that both education and industry can do collectively. Now we'll talk about use cases of AI as well. We've spoken enough on what can be done, what could be done, what should be done. But some use cases are always nice to talk about. But let's also see how AI is doing. Some of my former speakers have touched upon this topic. Right? 12 to 18 months ago, AI was just an intern. People playing around with it, trying to draft emails, sending screenshots to friends, making fun, saying, you know what, this is what AI has done. Some were trying to mock AI, giving difficult problems, and then sharing screenshots on LinkedIn saying, oh, AI is not ready, look at the kind of foolish answers they are giving. So it was more of an intern, still learning. When we look at AI today, AI is an expert. There are a lot of AI tools which are very, very domain expert. Very domain expert. Okay? And where's the future? 12 to 18 months down the line, AI is going to be a teammate. Right? Thankfully, not the only one saying this. I was afraid I'll be talking about things that many may not be resonating with, but I saw a lot of the previous speakers also talk about that, and that's inevitable. But with that, we should also talk about what's our AI use case. I know almost all of you have used AI in some form and shape, but any of you just share what has been something that impressed you a lot with the enablement that AI could do. Anyone? Okay, let's ask the younger generation. Okay, ladies here. Your favorite use case of AI. You've used AI for something and you were impressed by what AI could do for you. Yeah, what did ChatGPT do for you? Okay, lovely. So we have a brilliant use case here, right? Yeah, right? Everything. And I start by saying a wonderful event put together. Now I know 𝐀𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐬𝐡 team is ahead of the game. They're using AI to actually put together lovely stuff. Great. Good answer. Thank you. I'll also share one of mine. So there was an internal initiative that got awarded at multiple places, and I had to present about it to some of the leaders within India and outside. Okay? That includes the global head of engineering and a lot of other influential people. Now, 𝐀𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐬𝐡, one of the tools that I use very frequently, and I use a lot of AI tools. Okay, I just put a very small prompt presenting this deck, help you prepare, as simple as that. Now, if you actually look at what the AI tool told me, right? It preempted exactly what I would be asked in the presentation. Now, it does not mean 𝐀𝐬𝐡 is going to replace me. It only means that what used to take me a couple of hours of preparation, right? Preempting all the questions, what kind of audience, who can ask what, then prepare answers, etc. Everything is there. Of course, I'm the one preparing the answers because it's my initiative, I designed it, I'll be answering. But it makes life easy, one. Two, when you have a very diverse audience, it's also very important for you to tailor-make your deck so that the time gets utilized very, very effectively. Right? So there are multiple. I've once presented in my staff meeting using another AI tool called Synthesia, where you can record yourself. There's a video recording, and then you put in a script, and then it's actually like you talking, and the video pops. I use that a lot. So there are a lot of use cases that we have. Now, I'll just leave us with one thought on how we have to be. Right? Anyone recognizes who this gentleman is? No, I'll give you a hint. He is the former CEO of one of the companies I've worked for. Okay, guess the name of the company. So he's Steve Ballmer. He was the CEO of Microsoft before Satya Nadella, who's the current CEO. Okay. Now, when in 2007 iPhone was launched, somebody was interviewing him, and as part of that interview, they asked him what he felt about the launch of iPhone. Okay, it was a 1-minute video, but I'll tell you the crux. He made fun of iPhone. He said, we are selling millions and millions of phones, because Microsoft was into the phone business at a point in time, right? And he was very proud that Microsoft phones were Windows phones. Cut to today, the most valuable organization, one of the most valuable organizations in the world is Apple. And that day when this interview was recorded, iPhone was only launched, not for sale. It was only launched. It was told that it will be available. That's it. Okay? So, I'll leave all of us with a thought of what we should not be and what we should be. Of course, great people, and this is with a lot of respect. But what did Thomas Watson not preempt? How the world is going to look like. Right? And don't be this person either. AI is not a band-aid solution. AI is not a shortcut, right? So there's no instant solution with AI. Be this person. You are in the driver's seat, and AI will help your journey to go faster. Right? At the end, I only want to leave all of us in this room with one thought. AI will not replace great teachers, but great teachers who use AI will replace the ones who don't. Similarly, for the industry, AI will not replace great employees, but great employees who use AI will replace the ones who do. Thank you so much for your time.